Diagnosis Murder on BBC1 in half an hour, right after Doctors.
You're going to be late for school.
What, Mum or Granny speak to you?
Don't be silly, she is speaking to me.
Yes, but only in shouts. And Grandpa
Taryn, please, don't worry about that now, OK? You go and put in a good day's work at school. And remember, tell me if anything else happens.
But if I do, you won't hit anyone again, will you?
Just tell me, OK? Go on. Boys, eh? When they get to that age, they can't let on they care about you. I don't think I've seen you doing the school run before.
Oh, I'm Rick, Darren Harlan's dad.
Morning.
Morning. You do know the meeting's not till 10, don't you?
Yes, but I thought...
As there was no morning surgery, you do a bit of catching up.
Yeah, great minds. I wonder how Jimmy's going to be with us making it official. Still licking the job.
Well, if Friday is anything to go by, he's not going to make it easy for us.
Bad, was it?
Yeah, I didn't realise that he wanted the partnership quite as badly as he did. It's really bitter. I'll just be glad when this is all over we can get back to normal.
Yeah, me too. Do you think anyone else will come in earlier than they have to?
I think you'll find everybody a lot for a lie-in.
Huh.
Seems more comfortable now.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Clay. Me and Mum have had quite a night of it.
Alan, you're doing a fantastic job, but don't be afraid to call for help. You can't be too self-reliant, you know.
And calling in on the off chance like this, definitely above and beyond. Oh, excuse me.
You're not still planning on going into work, are you?
Yeah, but I can't leave Mum until Ben gets here.
Still got the system in place then?
Sort of. Look, can I get you a cup of tea? Or you got to get off to morning surgery?
No, it's a late start. There's something else on. Nothing I want to get back to in a hurry, though. So, why don't you sit down and I'll make it?
I don't get to see my lad much, you see. I don't live with his mother.
Oh, really? Do you live out of town then?
No, just the other side of the city. I'm a junior manager at Bartley's. You know the print shop?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Down at all?
He's in the same class as Taryn.
Right, maybe the mates then, yeah?
No, I don't think so.
How do you get on with the teacher? I think Dan's having a bit of trouble with her. There's so much I'd like to know about this school, but I don't get much out of Darren, you see.
Well, listen, I've got a late start at work today. We could go for a coffee and I'll fill you in on homework policies and after-school clubs.
Are you sure you've got the time? That'd be great. Thanks.
But hasn't it taken you years to get this far?
10. First started with a little hut, fixed 2 or 3 cars a week. Now I've got 5 mechanics working for me.
It must be heartbreaking watching something you worked so hard to build go down the tubes.
Jake's a good deputy, but, well, it's not the same as being there yourself.
You wouldn't consider getting some professional help for your mum, if not a hospice, then social service?
No. Me and Ben promised we'd care for her right to the end. That's what we're going to do.
That's going to be tough, but as long as you're sure.
Funny thing is, Fred Bainey, he's a local businessman, much bigger fish than me. He's offered to come in with me, expand the place.
That sounds good.
Yeah, any other time I'd have been delighted, but I just couldn't cope with anything extra right now.
Turned him down then?
Oh, not yet, but you know...
Don't be too hasty, Alan. You may not get another chance to follow through like this. Can't Ben help you out, do more hours here?
Ben? Oh, he's bad enough as it is. You know, he finishes at the plastics factory at 7:30, and the agreement is he's here by 8.
It's 9:30.
Exactly. And gets worse. He missed 2 whole days last week.
Well, how did you manage? Where was he?
He's doing lots of overtime lately.
Well, 24 hours worth? And shouldn't he be putting that on hold since you're doing the same with this business opportunity? No, I don't want to be personal, but Ben has never seemed the most reliable of people.
Oh, he's all right. He's a good bloke. He's a bit laid back. He's always been Mum's favourite. I'm just the dependable workhorse.
Don't put yourself down like that. I think you should talk this through with your brother. Get him to start pulling his own weight, and then grab the opportunity with both ends.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, Alan. Sometimes you just have to stand up for yourself, because no one else is going to.
Oh, I'll think about what you said. Cheers. I knew they'd get books sent home. Darren's mum, Sharon, she never tells me a thing. She's not interested in Darren's schooling.
Really?
Well, she said it never did her any good. Have you ever met Sharon?
I've seen her.
Not lately, I hope. She looks like she's been scrapping.
So where did you two meet then? You seem to...
Wrong for each other.
Sorry, I've just been noticing.
No, it's fine. She was a one-night stand. Yeah, I met her in a pub about 10 years ago. I was there with a group of my mates and she was there with a gang of hers, and she was all glammed up, and I went over to her, got chatting. We got on pretty well. Plenty to drink. Anyway, at the end of the night, she took me home with her. I woke up next morning in a bed, a terrible hangover, and she was there knocking back hair of the dog. So I left, thinking I'd never see her again.
But?
She came looking for me 2 weeks later and said it was my baby and she was going to have it. I never suggested otherwise. A few of her mates were pregnant at the time and it was a bit of a craze, and I think that she just wanted to be in on it. And her place was a dump and she thought it'd get her a nice 2-bedroom flat.
Oh, you must have felt terrible.
Not great, but it was my fault as much as hers. Anyway, I knew straight away that I was going to stick by her.
Well, what a tough decision, especially, you know, you didn't know her that well.
No, it wasn't really a decision to make. I didn't really have to think about it. My mum died when I was 2, and my dad was always around the country working away. I just think he wanted to be away from me. And my gran brought me up. So there was no way that I wasn't going to be there for my own kid. If it wasn't for my gran, I would have ended up in care. Yeah, I ended up in a children's home once for a few weeks when my gran was in hospital. And I'll never forget those kids' faces. You okay?
Oh, I'm not late, am I? Nope, apart from Joe, you're the first one to arrive. That is because I have flown in on the wings of enthusiasm. Clue what you're talking about. But you would think, wouldn't you, that with the offer of a partnership, somebody would be inspired to get in here earlier this morning?
Oh, come on, Julia, take me the wink. Who is it? Is it Bill or is it Ben?
Find out in a minute.
Morning. You don't want to hear all this, do you? I'm sorry for talking so much about myself, telling you all my woes. I don't even know you. You must think I'm some kind of weirdo. I don't make a habit of this, you know, telling people I've never met before my whole life story. You must just have the knack of drawing it out of me.
Well, sometimes it's easier to talk things through with strangers.
It has to be the right stranger, though.
The thing is, I was brought up in care myself.
Latest boys. I see you too.
Well, Doc. Ben? Won't your brother be waiting to get off to work? Do you know you've made plans for this afternoon?
I'd never have guessed. You seem so...
No, it's fine. It's not something I talk about very often.
So, how was it?
Lonely. And sad, a lot of the time. Just felt forgotten. You know, like everyone else was in the right place, but you didn't belong anywhere. It's not the same, is it, having people paid to care for you? I mean, even the foster parents. And some of them were nice, tried really hard. But they're never going to identify with you the way that a proper parent does. They're never going to feel a child's pain the way that I do with Tara.
Didn't your shift end at 7:30?
It would have, if I still had a job to go to.
What?
I got laid off about a fortnight ago.
Sorry, Rick, listen to me going on. So, you wanted to make sure Darren had a proper family because of what happened to you. You stood by Sharon because you knew she was unreliable.
That's it, exactly.
Oh, thank you.
You know, no one's really got that before. Everyone's just looked at Sharon and thought I was mad.
So, when she woke up the next morning, she said she'd never seen him before in her life. What did he say? Well, he said...
Yeah, we'll get started when Jimmy arrives.
You don't think he could be so childish as to not turn up at all, do you?
You know what? I still don't get this. Alan said you've been arriving later and later each day, when you get there at all, but you've actually got all the time in the world.
I didn't want him to know.
Why? So you have more time to hang around with your mates?
I thought he might, you know, expect me to look after Mum full time.
Wouldn't that be a good thing?
I don't feel up to it.
What? Do you have any idea how life is for Alan at the moment? Did he tell you about the contract he just lost because he was too exhausted to concentrate?
No.
What about the business opportunity he's going to have to turn down because you're not pulling your weight?
Nah, he never talked to me about stuff like that.
Well, that's because he knows you wouldn't be interested. He wouldn't get any support from you.
He does his thing, I do mine.
And what is your thing exactly at the moment?
Okay, you've made your point.
Well, at least get in there.
Hello?
Alan, it's Dr. Clay.
Dr. Clay? There's nothing wrong, is there?
No, I just wanted to let you know that I bumped into Ben.
Well, where is he?
He's on his way. He may have something to tell you.
I moved in with her during the pregnancy, and I tried to get on with her, but it was hopeless. We rowed non-stop. We're polar opposites. I wanted to use what money we had for the baby, and she just wanted to use it for going out. I got her to pack in the drugs, I think, and sometimes she would try and cut down on the smoking and the drinking.
I see.
I kept telling myself that I had to be there for the baby, even though I knew it was doomed. I even had this romantic idea that becoming a mother would transform Sharon, make her change her ways. I was a fool.
No. I understand how desperate you were to make things work. I sometimes think I tried too hard with my family.
Yeah, but can you try too hard?
Oh, yeah. So, when did you decide to leave her?
No, I didn't leave her. She threw me out. With the help of a few of her beefy friends. It was about 4 days after the baby was born. It was tiny, incredible. And she said I got on her nerves, fussing over him all the time. She wanted a life now the baby was out, and I was just getting in the way.
She didn't know how lucky she was. But I don't understand why she didn't just leave Darren with you.
So she could get back to the way she was?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just because she knew I wanted him so much.
Must have been terrible.
I'll never forget it. All that time waiting, all the rows, and then I just had to walk away and leave him behind. Do just what my own father did.
Can we get started? We're all out of biscuits here.
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute. He switched his phone off entirely now.
Oh, this is ridiculous. We'll have to get on without him.
Oh, look, Joe, he's upset enough as it is. If we make this announcement without Jimmy here, he's just going to feel even more like an outsider, isn't he?
I'm sorry, Julia, but we can't sit here dithering about Jimmy's feelings. People are waiting to start the day.
Yeah, okay. All right, people, let's make a start, shall we?
At last.
Now, you already know why I've called the meeting this morning.
Talk about the big build-up.
We have given this a great deal of consideration, and we have decided that we are going to offer the partnership to Nick. And I'm very happy to say that he's accepted.
Oh, congratulations, Nick.
Good to have you on board.
Hang on a minute, what about Jimmy?
Jimmy, look, I'm sorry, we just couldn't wait any longer. I've been calling you. You weren't answering your phone.
Well, it's all so nice and peaceful here. I have an announcement to make myself. I think we'd all agree that giving our patients more choice is a good thing. So I've decided to adopt a more holistic approach in the treatment that I offer. I've decided to become a GP homeopath.
Are you still okay for time?
Fine. But do you fancy going for a walk or something? I couldn't drink another cup of coffee.
Me neither. Do you think that when you've been brought up in difficult circumstances, you can sometimes be a bit full on with your own kids?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't want anything to go wrong, do you? You don't want them to have to suffer like you did. You want absolute security and safety for them. Well, I know I do with our Darren.
Well, you'd wrap them up in cotton wool if you could.
I mean, there's nothing you wouldn't do for your boy, is there?
Did you know about this?
And you, the sly one, did she tell you?
No, I didn't.
That's a bit. There's just no way this is going to work.
George, this isn't another one of your fads, is it, George?
Of course it's going to work. This is an aspect of medicine in which I have built up considerable expertise over the years. My time in Australia widened my experience, and there's plenty of interest from patients. I would not have even suggested this had I not thought it through thoroughly.
What's that latest harebrained craze? EFT? You're not going to have people sitting around the surgery tapping into their ley lines or whatever they are you? I mean, come on. We'd be a laughing stock.
You know, we've got to think of the good reputation of the practice.
Emotional freedom technique is not something I would be offering personally. I have heard, of course, that there's some very good...
What? Emotional what?
Yeah, well, I think it's a great idea. I'm right behind you, George.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Well, since when have you been a new age freak?
Oh, it's about time someone brought some innovations to this practice before we all turn into fossils.
Well, I just think it
Okay,
seems a
save
bit...
it, Michelle. Well, in view of these new developments, I'm calling a meeting for tomorrow morning where we can discuss this calmly. I'll let you know the time later.
We've just been ambushed.
I know.
Good, when you fight your corner.
I fully intend to.
Two weeks ago.
About that?
Have you any idea what the last 2 weeks have been like for me?
So, you've had a lousy fortnight. What do you think it's been like for me?
Do you know, I can't believe I'm hearing this. Ben, I'm almost at breaking point here. Jake's phoning me, you're phoning me. I'm worrying about the business, worrying about Mum, about you.
You've seemed all right to me.
So I've tried to hide it. I didn't want to put any extra pressure on you. Why didn't you tell me about the job? Yeah, so that's it, Sharon won. Darren's lived with her ever since, and I've just had to watch from the sidelines. I just tried to get on with my life. I worked hard and got promoted. Last year I met Katie, and we just moved in together.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I still send Sharon money. I never missed a payment, but I'm not sure how much of it gets spent on Darren. Contact order says I'm meant to see him every 2 weeks, but just lately, I feel like I'm being edged out of his life.
Or does Sharon know about Katie?
Oh, Darren would have told her.
Do you think maybe she's threatened by her?
No. There's something I haven't told you yet. It's something I'm finding it hard to admit even to myself.
I don't like coming here.
What do you mean?
I'm just finding it harder and harder to come here.
Well, it's not easy looking after someone so ill.
What if she dies when I'm on my own with her?
But that's just what we're here for. So we can bring her some comfort. So she won't be with strangers.
And I've been thinking about after, when she's gone, you know, trying to get my head round being an orphan.
Oh, Ben,
You're 27 years old. It's time to grow up. Anyway, this isn't even about me. It's about you and your business opportunity. What? Been keeping that one quiet, haven't you? After that jumped-up duck to fill me in. You just want me stuck here with Mum so you can swan off and make your money.
Ben, just hang on a minute. Do you really believe that of me?
No. Sorry.
Thank you. Well, you've been so understanding. I mean, I found this very hard to talk, even to Katie about, you know. Maybe you're right in what you say about talking to strangers.
So what is it?
Just recently I found bruises on Darren.
Really?
Yeah, he told me it was from football and I believed him. A few weeks ago I took him swimming. Sharon said I could only have him for one day. It was raining, there's nothing else to do. And normally he likes swimming, but this time he was holding back and it took me ages to persuade him. And when he was getting changed, he was kind of hiding himself. And I could see these more bruises on his back and they looked wrong. And I knew they weren't from football this time. And I told him and he just panicked and he made up some silly story.
Well, has Sharon ever hit him before?
Well, she slapped him a few times. She's hardly the anti-smacking type. But she's never left a mark, not like this.
Have you spoken to Darren?
Well, he'll not say anything against her. But there's something that he's not telling me. I know there is. I mean, just recently she's had a bad run of boyfriends. And she's been hitting the booze and whatever else. I mean, I could believe that she's neglecting him, but this... I mean, I've had to stop thinking about it recently because... my imagination, you know, it just runs riot. I've even thought about snatching him.
Oh, yeah, but what if you're wrong? You know, you take that sort of direct action, Rick, you could lose all your rights.
That's what the solicitor says.
You've spoken to a solicitor?
Yeah, I'm trying to get custody of him. I know I can give Darren a better life. The solicitor says he understands my fears, but without more proof, there's not much more he can do. And all the time, Darren's changing. I know he's always been a lively lad, but recently he's getting in trouble with the teacher. He's playing truant. Well, I don't know. Maybe the bruises have got nothing to do with Sharon. Maybe he's getting bullied at school.
I don't think so. Look, I'm sorry to be the one to have to tell you this, but it's Darren who's doing the bullying.
Are you sure? Well, how do you know this?
My son is one of the kids who's been picking on.
I'm sorry. You should have told me before. Well, I didn't give you the chance to do. Have you told Sharon about this?
Yes, but, well...
She's not giving you the chance. That's my Sharon for you. I cannot just leave him there and let her turn him into a thug. I know she's an unfit mother. She's so devious, you know. I mean, you won't believe this, but she can turn on the charm sometimes. What can I do without proof?
Oh, why don't you try talking to your solicitor again? I mean, it's absolutely clear to me that Darren should be with you. I wish I could help.
No. You've done enough. Thanks. Thanks for telling me about the bullying.
Look, Rick, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, okay.
She's always asking for you, you know. That's not fair, is it? I'm the waster, the wayward one. You've always stayed on the straight and narrow.
I'm not suggesting that you should take over all her care. I want to look after her too. But if you could just be here when you say you're going to be, so I know where I am. You pull your weight, and now that you've got the time, if you could just be here for an extra hour now and again, it would make a huge difference.
Enough to let you expand the garage?
Well, why not? Who knows? Maybe there'd be a job in it for you.
Really? You take me on?
Of course. You're my brother.
I'm still scared, you know? What's going to happen?
I know. And I will help you through it. But have you ever stopped to think that maybe I might be scared too?
Well, thanks for listening.
No, I'm just glad you felt you could confide in me.
Yeah. I'll try my best with Darren. I'll keep my eye on him and give him good talking to. It's hard to have much influence with him at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least I know what he might be going through at home now.
Yeah, but your son shouldn't have to be another victim of it.
Good luck, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
Thanks, Donna.
Before you say anything, I know why you're here.
You do?
Has Joe put you up to this, or are you doing it on your own?
What?
Oh, come on, Julie. You were hardly supportive earlier.
No, I haven't come in here to talk you out of it. Like I said, we'll discuss it calmly at the meeting tomorrow.
Oh.
I just think you could have introduced this whole thing with a little more tact, that's all.
I see. So you'd have had a chance to talk me out of it before I'd even made my decision, you mean?
Joe and I both feel that you've crept up behind us and hit us over the head with a big rock.
Good. It's a big idea, one I've had for years. Nothing you can say is going to make me change my mind.
John Terry is given extra time with Gabby Logan in a brand new series from BBC1, Inside Sport, tonight at 11:05. Next today, political intrigue in Diagnosis Murder.